Hello, it's me. This is the 20th part of this little series of me learning some Japanese. Uh, all in all, I think so. There's roughly 12 hours of me learning Japanese put up on my channel. Um, I'd say my total time spent is a little bit more than that. Maybe 14, maybe. There might be an extra 2 hours of days I didn't record on. Make sure I'm recording right now as I say that. But yeah, so this is about where that can get you. Uh, to be fair, I've only learned some vocab. I've very roughly learned some grammar. Um, and I'm kind of learning to write as I go along, learning vocabulary. Um, I will tell you, I definitely expected to be at this kind of skill level, which is basically none. I probably couldn't speak any Japanese. I could probably barely read some Japanese, and my listening is so so. I watch some anime in my spare time, and so I can kind of pick out words as I'm watching, and I can I'm kind of hearing some grammar stuff that I've read in the grammar guide. I can kind of pick out a couple things, but it's not great. It's not good at all. I'm not understanding it. I'm just like, oh yeah, that sounds familiar. Is that? I don't know. I'm not gonna check. Uh, don't know where I was going with that. Uh, but so yeah, I'm basically at zero. That is to be expected, as I have not really consumed any uh, any content in my target language, any real content, and really like actively trying to absorb the content. That's really what you need to learn a language, and right now I'm just doing the building blocks, and it's been about 14 12 to 14 hours of building blocks, which is to be expected with a language like Japanese. As a native English speaker, it's one of the hardest, I say hardest, it's one of the most different, I think that's even a bad way to put it. So I think it's somewhat wrong to say like difficult to learn, but it's one of the most difficult languages to learn as an English speaker. The FSI like rates it a category 5, or I think that's how they do it, like a category or tier 5 language or something like that. It takes a fucking ton of hours to learn the language. That's how they rank the difficulty, is by how many classroom hours. I think on average it has taken their students to uh, become proficient in the language, and I think their idea of proficiency is probably a bit different from the average person's, because they're really trying to get a practical speaking and or practical language capability to do their fucking job. So a little different, but that's still pretty good to go off of. It's a very different language from English. Uh, has one of the more complicated writing systems in the world, so that definitely does not help. Especially as an English speaker, you don't even have the benefit of, maybe learning a language like Mandarin or something that has Chinese characters in it. Hanji. Uh, forget what the Koreans call those characters. What they call Chinese characters. Hanja, I think. Or maybe maybe you grew up in Vietnam, like in what, the 1800s. So you might have learned Chu Nam. I think I'm not saying it right. I don't know fucking tones and shit, but if you put in CHUM space NOM, I think it's gonna pop up with the Vietnamese version of Hanzi. There's other languages that have that shit. I'm not gonna go through it all. But yeah, one of the more complicated that, and then an agglutinative grammar, which is pretty different from English. We have a more analytic, leaning grammar. It's not quite analytic like Chinese. The Sino-Tibetan languages are analytic, and we're, I think, still technically a synthetic. Is that what they call it? A synthetic language. All the Indo-European languages are, although some languages like English and Dutch are leaning more towards analytic style grammar. I don't know, I'm not a fucking linguist. And a very different vocabulary, except for all these, they have a name, I forget what they're called, but these like English loan words that we keep running into, like toraku, those have a name in Japanese, but that's basically your loan word vocabulary. There's some from like Dutch and Portuguese, but not much, not as much as English, I don't think. But yeah, not a whole lot of those anyway, so it's a pretty different language. So, you know, building blocks are going to take a while, but we're not too far from being able to start reading, which will hopefully, I believe, exponentially grow my skills with Japanese. This has been a long rant. I figured since it was the 20th part, I would kind of go over where we are and what we've done. But anyway, I'm going to do 10 words. I already did my grammar for today. Did that at work. Did my reviews. Now it's time to learn umai, which is a word we already encountered yesterday. Alright? Where is it? Maybe it wasn't yesterday. What day was this? It was good at. I don't know what this one is.
Umai.
Oh, delicious. Tasty. Delicious, tasty. Umai.
渡す。彼に手紙を渡しました。
渡す。Watasu. Carry across, hand over. I remember this word giving me a lot of trouble, so hopefully it doesn't. This time around. Oh, I gotta get a sip of fucking water. I'm thirsty. That was more like 5 sips of water, 5 mouthfuls of water. Wataru.
渡る。私たちは歩いて橋を渡った。
Wataru. Cross forward, go across. Wataru, cross forward, go across. That's you doing it. Watasu is you carrying somebody. Umai, delicious, tasty.
うまい。うまい寿司屋を見つけたよ。
Cousin of oishi. Toshiwa?
粘土。
No.
売り上げは粘土によって違います。
Not at fucking all, actually. Kind of sounded like a word though. Toshiwa. Oh, Sorry, jeez Louise, I'm fucking tired. Oh, that's actually a different kanji. It doesn't have the little side thing. Shit. Anyway. Nendo year, school year. Ah, fuck, I'm an idiot. Nendo year, school year. Nendo. Watasu, carry across, hand over.
渡す彼
Wataru, cross forward, go across.
渡る私
Imado?
今度
Kondo.
は
Oh,
ど
that
こに
makes
行きたいで
sense.
すか
I don't know why I always want to say Imado or Ima for that. That's what it means by itself, but I don't think we've encountered a word that like uses that in a compound. I think that means that kon is the Japanese pronunciation. It's the Japanese word as opposed to the Chinese pronunciation and word. I forget what those fucking words are called. Hold on. Kunyomi and onyomi. Yeah. Oh, I guess ima is the kunyomi, so that's the Japanese, and onyomi. Weird. Is that in this? Is this word? No, it's not. Alright, anyway. Kondo, this time, next time. Kondo. Kondo, this time, next time. Nendo, year, school year.
年度売り上げは
Nendo.
年度によって違います
Nendo. Garasu? Glass?
ガラスクリスタルガラスの花瓶を買いました
I forget what those are called. They have a word for English loan words. In Japanese, I think actually other foreign loan words are put underneath that umbrella, like the Japan or the Dutch and Portuguese loan words that they've received.
何度あの店には何度も行きました
Nando. Nando. How many degrees? How many times? Nando. How many degrees? How many times? Kondo. Fuck, this time?
今度はどこに行きたいですか
So, it means this time and next time. This time and next time. I'm gonna say good, but that one's kind of confusing. So, what is this? Cycle?
最近
Saikin.
それは
My bad.
最近話題の本ですね
It kind of smells like shit in my house. Whatever. Saikin. Late. Recent. Saikin, late recent. Good, gurasu. Gurasu. Glass.
ガラスク
ガラス
リスタルガラスの花瓶を買いました。
Gurasu. Gurasu. Nando. Fuck.
何度
How
あ
many
の店には
degrees? How many times? How many degrees? How many times? This one looks surprisingly like Toi, so Toku.
遠くに船が見えます。
Great distance. That's not really confusing. Would have been nice if they'd put that word with Toi, honestly. Great distance. Toku. Toku, great distance. Saikin, late recent.
最近それは
Nando, how many degrees, how many times?
何度あの店には何度も行きました。
Nando, how many degrees, how many times? Nando, how many degrees, how many times? Nando, how many degrees, how many times? Shai?
社長、
社長
おばは小さな会社の社長です。
Oh, that is definitely not how you write that. I'm a fucking idiot. Shacho. President of a company. Shacho. Toku, large distance, great
遠
distance.
くに船
Nando, how many degrees, how many times?
何度あの店には
Shacho, president of a company.
社長
Umai, tasty, delicious.
うまい寿司
Watasu, carry across, hand over.
渡す彼
Wataru, cross, forward, go across.
渡る
Nendo, school year, year.
年度売り上げは
Oh, that was a good study sesh. 10 new words. We are definitely getting there. Learning a lot of vocabulary. While Shibaraku, a while, by time, for the time being. That's a word I'm still fucking up. Oh, there's Umai, good at. Exactly the same. Alright, put that shit away. Hold on. Yep, there you go. Put my notebook away. I'm probably pretty quiet. Kondo. This time, next time.
今度はどこに行きたい
How long has this been going? You know what? I'm going to try to end the 20th part on 20 minutes just for the fuck of it. Enjoy wasting 30, 20 more seconds of your time. Yep. It's been real. Yep. Join me for part 21, where I learn more vocabulary. Bye.